Hello, Colorado and Wyoming leadership. Patrick Shaw here. It is December. Can you believe it? 2014. And here we sit already on the 8th. It is the last month of 2014. And I promise you this, 2015 is going to be extraordinary. I spent a lot of time on phone calls in the last week or so with several executives, including Jeff Bell at the corporate office. And folks, I'm telling you, the guy is flat out figuring out how to put us into massive momentum in 2015. And I'll never forget, October 1998, I joined Legal Shield. And I remember I'd been in the network marketing industry for about 2.5 years. My biggest check was $700. And when I went to the big event with Legal Shield, I thought to myself, well, this could explode or it might not. And there were about 4,000 people at that event. The company I was with, TPN, got purchased by Legal Shield. And they told us basically, you will not get a check for about 60 days. But if you're willing to go to work and build like crazy, we'll give you 60 days. So there was no fast start window. I couldn't get a check right away. I had 60 days. And I thought to myself, I can either do what all these other folks are doing, and I can sit on the sidelines and I can watch. Or I can buy in and think this might just be the real deal. And I went to work. I put my head down and I got after it. And many of you know the rest of the story, but went into massive momentum over the next 4 years and had the great fortune of laying the foundation for a business that created millions of dollars in revenue. But I really believe we're at that stage right now. Based on the conversations I've had recently, I believe by the end of the first quarter of 2015, and I've seen momentum. I know what massive momentum looks like. I believe we're going to that place. And I believe the people that will close out December hard, that will go into January and February with some enthusiasm, with some real belief, and really work on their goals, their strategy, and their game plan, I believe those people are going to position themselves for one of the best years of your life. I was just reading Tony Robbins' new book, Money. Now, this is a guy who has not written a book in about 20 years. And I don't know what you think of Tony Robbins, but I'll tell you, he doesn't write a book unless he's got something of value to say. I've read every one of his books, some of them multiple times, and they were life-changing. They really offered me an enormous amount of insight at a very important time in my life. And this book is no different. It's all about creating a platform for your financial freedom. He has some free tools in here, some apps that you can download for free. And it's got me thinking a lot recently about how do I achieve that lifetime financial freedom? What's that number that I have to have in the bank so that if I chose to, I could never work again, and the residual income from those investments, even outside of Legal Shield, would set me free at the level I want to play the game at? Well, he outlines that entire strategy. Now, it's not a tiny little book, right? But I would encourage you to read it, look at it, and think about it over December and January, and set your game plan. I know Julie and I are going away to LA to do nothing but focus on our strategy, our game plan, personally, spiritually, financially, emotionally for 2015. I want to be better than I am today. And I'm not comparing myself to anybody else. I want to be better than the person I was yesterday. And I hope that every one of us will latch on and hold on to that simple idea, because that idea of our personal growth being the number one thing in our life will affect everything else. It will have an impact on the people around us. It'll help us do more for the organizations, the individuals that we care about. So, set that as a goal. This week in Colorado, we have the Colorado Party this Saturday, the holiday party. Mr. Chris Ward has set it up. We're going to be at, all the details are below, but it's bowling And it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. And that's Saturday, 11 to 2. And also, if you have some food to donate, there's a donation or charity that they tied to it, so you can participate there as well. I do want to let you know that Mr. Chris Hughes, a very dynamic leader, a good friend, and a really solid presenter, is going to be in Colorado with Mr. David Hughes up in northern Colorado on Wednesday night. Now, that's not their normal briefing night, but they're moving it to Wednesday to accommodate Chris. And then Chris Ward, the North briefing in Denver, is also going to be joining them on Wednesday night. So it should be a great presentation. On Tuesday this week, we have our alternating week, and it's our networking event, and that's at the Baker Street in the Denver Tech Center. And that has been awesome. We have had huge attendance, lots of guests coming out, and this is an environment where you can just invite somebody to network, to introduce their business to other people. And if you do it really right, you'll discover that those people you invite will get introduced into some different stories about folks that have got their BMW or got a most recent bonus or had a good week in Legal Shield. Today I had a great fortune of sitting with a individual that has 16 agents in his office, and everybody's getting started. Now, this was a contact from 13 years ago. I'm going to share that story on Tuesday night. So if you walk up to me at that networking event and you happen to have two guests with you, you don't have to walk up and say, hey, Patrick, share your story with me. You can walk up and go, holy cow, I heard you just got 16 agents started, and then I can tell the story. And they can happen to hear the story. And if that story grabs their attention, well, that's called a win-win, and maybe we invite them to another presentation. It's amazing how effective this can be if we all participate properly, right? If we don't just sit in our chairs and talk amongst ourselves, if we get out and really network, we show up with a smile on our face, we leave our problems in the trunk of the car, and we come in and celebrate the holiday season and what an incredible business model we have in Legal Shield. So a lot to think about. I hope you're enjoying family, friends, and the holidays, and you're out there talking to folks about our incredible opportunity. The best in our history is yet to come, folks, and I think 2015 will unequivocally be the year for many people that you see massive momentum in the company. We'll see you at the top. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye now.